The way you start your day often becomes the way you live your life. Mornings are not just the beginning of a new day. They're a powerful opportunity, a quiet window where your mind, free from the clutter of the world, is most open to influence. If you can win the morning, you can win the day. But that victory doesn't happen by accident. It takes intention. Most people wake up as if they were forced to. The alarm clock rings, and they drag themselves out of bed, already be tired, already stressed. They reach for their phones, scroll through distractions, and let the outside world decide how they feel before they've even had a chance to meet themselves. That's not a formula for progress. That's a habit of reaction, not creation. To truly transform your life, you must begin each day with purpose. Not with chaos, not with confusion, but with clarity. This means choosing a routine that puts you in control, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Before the world places its demands on you, you have to meet yourself where you are and remind yourself where you're going. That might mean waking up a little earlier. It might mean sitting down with a journal for 10 minutes and writing out your goals, your thoughts, or 3 things you're grateful for. It might mean closing your eyes and breathing deeply, visualizing your day going exactly the way you want it to. Whatever the form, the substance is the same purpose. One of the most powerful things you can do in the morning is simply to think, not worry, not react. Just think. Think about your mission. Think about the kind of person you're becoming. Think about what matters and what doesn't. Take that quiet time to put your life back into perspective. Because once the day begins, once the noise starts and the messages roll in, it becomes much harder to separate the urgent from the important. But those few quiet minutes in the morning can be your anchor. They can become the most valuable moments of your entire day. There's something to be said for a morning routine that doesn't just prepare you for work, but prepares you for life. You see, people who succeed don't leave their attitude to chance. They build it daily. And that begins in the first moments of the morning. Even small rituals, making your bed, reading a few pages from a good book, stretching your body, reviewing your goals, can compound over time to produce an enormous difference in your results. Because it's not just what you do in a single morning. It's what those mornings do to you over weeks, months, and years. Most people spend their lives reacting to life. But those who lead a life of progress and peace, those who make real change, are those who respond to life with purpose. They train themselves day by day to take control early, to guide their ship before the winds of the day try to steer it off course. Purpose is powerful, but it must be chosen. You have to wake up with it. And when you do, you begin to realize that transformation doesn't happen in leaps. It happens in mornings. One after another, consistently, purposefully. Your mind is a garden. What you plant in it grows. And what you fail to plant, weeds will. If you don't deliberately sow seeds of wisdom, discipline, and inspiration every single day, then mediocrity, fear, and confusion will take root by default. The mind doesn't stay still. It's always under construction. Either you're building something strong and useful, or you're allowing time, society, and negativity to shape it for you. That's why feeding your mind daily is not optional if you want to live a life of purpose, progress, and personal power. Some people think education ends when school ends. That's a mistake. The real education, the kind that shapes your income, your character, your relationships, and your destiny, begins when you decide to take responsibility for what you allow into your head. You can't afford to let the news, gossip, and mindless entertainment be the only voices you hear. Because what enters your mind eventually exits through your behavior. And your behavior determines your future. Reading a good book, listening to an insightful podcast, watching a powerful talk. These are not just hobbies. They are investments. Every paragraph, every idea, every lesson absorbed becomes part of your internal library. And one day you'll find yourself drawing from that reservoir when you need it most. When challenges come, when opportunities appear, when decisions demand clarity, you won't have to scramble. You'll be ready because you've been preparing every single day. And the best part, it doesn't take hours. Just 15 to 30 minutes a day of intentional input can change your entire trajectory over time. Imagine feeding your mind with ideas about discipline, leadership, communication, mindset, business, relationships. Every single day for the next year. That's over 180 hours of personal growth. Do you think that would make a difference in your thinking, in your results? Absolutely. That's how people separate themselves. Quietly, consistently. Most people fill their minds with junk. They wake up and scroll. They listen to complaints. They repeat the same limited thoughts. And then they wonder why their life feels stuck. But the truth is, you can't outperform the quality of your thoughts for long. Sooner or later, your thinking becomes your ceiling. If you want a better life, you need better thinking. And better thinking comes from better input. You also have to understand that your mind is like a muscle. It needs exercise. And just like you don't go to the gym once and expect to stay in shape, you can't read one book and expect your mindset to stay sharp. That's why this is a daily habit. You do it even when you don't feel like it. You do it even when you're busy. You do it because you understand that the compound effect is working, whether for you or against you. Feeding your mind daily is about preparation. You're preparing for moments that haven't arrived yet. You're preparing for conversations, opportunities, and battles that are still ahead. And when they show up, you'll be glad you took the time to prepare. You'll walk into rooms with confidence. You'll make decisions with clarity. You'll solve problems with creativity, not because you're lucky, but because you've trained for it. Life doesn't get better by accident. It gets better by design. And your mind is the blueprint. If you want to change your life, change your thinking. And if you want to change your thinking, change what you're feeding your mind every day. Choose wisdom. Choose inspiration. Choose growth. Because whatever you feed your mind, it will multiply. And eventually it will show up in every area of your life. Time is the currency of life. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day. But how those hours are used determines the difference between success and regret, between growth and stagnation. The truth is, most people don't waste time. They just spend it on the wrong things. The clock keeps ticking whether you're building your dream or watching someone else live theirs. And if you don't take control of your time, someone else will. We live in a world full of distractions, and the temptation to drift is stronger than ever. Notifications, emails, social media, noise. It's all designed to steal your attention. But here's the secret: attention is the gatekeeper of time. Wherever your attention goes, your minutes follow. So the first step in controlling your time is taking back your focus. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more clarity in how you use the hours you already have. Every successful person you admire has the same amount of time you do. What sets them apart isn't luck or intelligence. It's how they prioritize. They don't let the day happen to them. They happen to the day. They plan. They schedule. They guard their time like a treasure because they know it's the one thing they can never get back once it's gone. A wasted hour is gone forever. And every hour you waste compounds into days, months, even years of lost potential. It starts with a simple habiting. Plan your day before the world gets a chance to. Set aside a few quiet minutes every morning, or better yet, the night before, to decide what really matters. Write it down. Define your top 3 priorities. If you don't have a plan, you'll default to someone else's. And their plan probably doesn't include your goals. Without structure, you'll drift. And when you drift long enough, you end up in places you never meant to be. The calendar is not just for appointments. It's a reflection of your values. If your goals matter, They need a place on your schedule. If your family matters, block time for them. If your health matters, carve out time to move, to rest, to eat right. Don't just say it matters. Show it in your time. Because what you allocate time to, you give life to. And what you consistently ignore withers. One of the biggest myths people believe is that they're too busy. But busy doesn't always mean productive. Running in circles, putting out fires, reacting to the urgent, that's not real productivity. That's just movement without progress. What matters isn't how much you do, but how much of what you do actually moves you forward. Take an honest look at your days. Are they full or are they fulfilling? That answer will tell you a lot about your time management. Another key to owning your time is learning to say no. Not every invitation deserves your yes. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Make sure your yes is protecting your vision, not sabotaging it. Saying no isn't selfish. It's wise. It's how you create space for what truly matters. Time is more valuable than money. You can earn more dollars, but you can't earn more hours. And someday, you'll look back and realize that your life wasn't shaped by what you hoped for or dreamed of. It was shaped by how you spent your time. So start today. Be intentional. Take the reins. Block time for growth, for rest. Block time for building what matters most. Because when you master your time, you begin to master your life. Your body is the engine of your performance, and if the engine is weak, even the best ideas in the world won't get far. You can have the right goals, the right strategy, the right mindset, but if your energy is low, everything suffers. You move slower, you think less clearly, you lose momentum. That's why you must treat your physical energy as sacred. It fuels every decision, every effort, every conversation. Without energy, motivation becomes a burden, not a blessing. Some people act like their body is separate from their success. They grind through exhaustion, skipping meals, sleeping late, sitting too long, thinking they're buying time. But in truth, they're losing life. Because when your energy drops, so does your discipline. So does your patience. So does your creativity. And before you know it, you're just surviving the day, not mastering it. You're reacting instead of leading. That's the price of ignoring your physical well-being. It shows up in every area of life, not just health. The great news is, the building physical energy doesn't require perfection. It requires awareness, consistency, and simple daily habits. Small hinges swing big doors. Drinking more water. Getting sunlight on your face in the morning. Moving your body, even if it's just for 20 minutes. These aren't complicated things, but they create powerful momentum. You don't need a six-pack to feel strong. You need vitality. You need stamina. You need to wake up feeling ready, not wrecked. And that comes from respecting your body as your number one asset. Nutrition matters. What you eat is what you fuel yourself with. Junk food may satisfy for a moment, but it steals from your future. High sugar, low nutrients, constant snacking, they're energy thieves. Food is not just about taste, it's about function. Choose foods that sharpen you, not sedate you. A clear mind begins with a clean body. A strong will begins with a stable system. If you want to think better, start eating better. Because mental fog often has a physical root. Movement matters too. You don't have to be an athlete to take care of your body, but you do have to move it. Sedentary living is one of the fastest ways to decay your energy. A walk, a stretch, a short workout. It doesn't take much, but it makes a difference. Exercise isn't punishment, it's preparation. It wakes up your system. It cleans out stress. It gives you confidence in your own skin, and confidence is energy in motion. And don't underestimate rest. Sleep isn't a weakness, it's wisdom. You can't pour from an empty cup. Burning the candle at both ends might look impressive for a while, but eventually the flame dies out. You don't grow when you're exhausted, you grow when you're recovered. The most successful people protect their sleep like they protect their schedule. Because they know tired eyes can't see opportunity, and tired minds can't solve meaningful problems. Your body speaks before you do. It enters the room before your words. It holds your posture, your energy, your presence. When your body is strong, your message is stronger. You show up with more certainty. You move through the day with more purpose. You bounce back faster from setbacks. That's what physical energy gives you. It's the foundation under every goal you set. So take care of your machine. You only get one. Build it, fuel it, rest it, respect it. Because a strong body doesn't just add years to your life. It adds life to your years. And when you prioritize energy, you're not just doing it for health. You're doing it for impact, for clarity. For the stamina to live your purpose without breaking down along the way. Success is not the result of one big action. It's the result of small adjustments made consistently over time. And you can't make those adjustments unless you pause to reflect. You see, life gives you the test first and the lesson afterward. But if you don't stop to look at the lesson, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes, wondering why things never change. That's why daily reflection is not just a habit. It's a personal strategy for growth. It gives you the power to course correct before the damage is too deep, before the gap becomes too wide, before the opportunity passes you by.